All right, so Lisa, you got Lisa and David here. We are doing kind of a weekly announcements. We're going to start doing these live on Facebook as well as recording on Zoom so we can post them and send them out. It's not going to be very long. We just want to go through it. We know that today's world is an ever-changing world. A lot of moving pieces in here, and a lot of y'all probably saw her email yesterday. It's really the same thing we already had in place. We're just kind of, buckling down and making it not optional. I don't like the word mandatory, as y'all probably imagine. So, I think it's real important. And our goal of this meeting, of this call, this video is not just for you to see it as something that's mandatory. I want you to know the why behind it. And that just want everybody to understand we wouldn't be doing anything if we didn't feel like it's for the safety of our agents. And there's obviously today's world with COVID is very important. So obviously our check-in procedures are very important, and us knowing who's in the building at all times is very important. We know there's a mask ordinance with the city, so that's actually easy to do it. Our ALC actually ratified that even before the city council did, and we brought it to ALC before that. So we feel good about the things we're doing. The thing about the mask, there's a lot of different opinions about the mask, and if it saves one life, then it's worth it. A couple things just to tell you on a personal level is, I was telling staff, I was like, the mask design, is that if somebody gets exposed to COVID-19, they don't know it before they start showing symptoms. There's a window in there in which they could spread the virus. And so that's when the masks are probably important. They could reduce the spread of that virus. For somebody who doesn't know they have until the symptoms come up. For example, if my mom was to be exposed to COVID-19 and get it, she's 76 years old, she has COPD, she probably wouldn't survive. And if I can help save somebody's mom, it's enough for me. And the next part, real surprise you, my kids actually tested positive. My daughter, my son, their mom and her husband, the entire household tested positive for COVID-19. Everybody's gonna be fine, everybody's healthy, they caught it, and thank goodness my kids wear masks, and so maybe who knows who had it first, doesn't really matter. They're all doing fine. Son shows very little symptoms, and the older they get, though, the higher the symptoms. Very interesting, right? So I think all these things are interesting because these all kind of happened just last weekend. I haven't seen my son in a week, about 8-9 days, so I think I'm good. And at the same time, just brings it to light that we need to be more careful. So Lisa, why don't you just walk through the procedures, the email, everybody's gotten it. You're going to get it again today. Why don't you just walk through our check-in procedures if you don't mind?
Okay. What we've done to streamline the check-in process is we've locked all of the ancillary doors, and we're asking everybody to enter through the main door of each Market Center office. When you do enter the office, please sanitize your hands immediately, either by washing them or using the hand sanitizer on the counter. On the counter, there will also be a check-in sheet and a list of symptoms for you to read to make sure that you don't have any of those. Once you do read this list, we're going to ask you to sign your name and probably your email address if you're a visitor, and then signify whether or not you have any of those symptoms. If you do, we're going to ask you to go home and until you feel better. We're not trying to be punitive. We're just trying to keep everybody safe. We also want to make sure that you put your masks on. Everybody's been doing great with that. I know that we've had a couple of instances where people forget. We're going to gently remind you to put them back on. And if you see us walking around and didn't say mask or something, we're just trying to be helpful. We're not trying to be punitive. And I want you all to know that it's coming from our hearts. It's coming from a good place. Other than that, we're just asking you to sanitize any areas that you do use. The staff is being very vigilant and going around and sanitizing all the common areas, but you are responsible for your personal office area. Anything you want to add?
Nothing to add. I think you did it. Guys, the check-in is obviously so we know who was in the office. And we just want you to check off that you don't have any of the symptoms. Mm-hmm. Very simple. So just saying, nope, I don't have any. And if you're not feeling well, it's okay. Stay home. We'll help you with your clients. Guys, we're very adamant about that. We have a lot of agents, a lot of support. We will not let you affect your income by doing this. So let's just all be safe. Let's all work through this. And this is, obviously, this is going to be our procedures for the month of July. We're going to play it by ear of what we get from the governor, what we get from the CDC, And we're going to stay out of the political game. We're just going to stay in the game of doing what we feel is right and moving on. So you have it in here. Y'all know the symptoms. We're all professional. We're all experts now in COVID-19. So
I had one thing to that, David.
Yeah.
I did have a question about just now about open houses. At this point in time, we're still allowing in-person open houses. We do expect you to take all proper precautions and err on the side of caution, please. And whatever the sellers want is what you need to abide by. If they want booties, if they want one person at a time, then follow their instructions.
Yeah.
And if you feel at all unsafe, then don't do one.
And call and get some advice. So, all right. So, any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to myself, Lisa, Jay, Cindy. We'd be glad to answer questions. Trust me, we'd rather just be open game and we're just doing the things we got to do. And like I said, if somebody does come down positive for COVID-19, we want to know who's in the building at that time so we can let those people know that it did happen. So, all right, quarterly meeting. You want to go ahead and go over what we have coming up for quarterly meeting, Lisa?
Sure. We've got our quarterly meeting on July 24th. It will be held via Zoom this time since we're still not able to do large gatherings. The first part of the meeting will be the company portion, and that's from 8:30 to 9:30, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah. And I don't have the agenda completely worked out for that yet. I don't know if we do on that yet. The class portion will be separate. It'll be a separate enrollment. Course Creators is doing an understanding diversity. So it'll be a fair housing. It's timely with what's happening in our world right now. And that will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And again, we'll send a link out for the registration and it will be separate from our link for our Zoom.
Okay. Also, we are going to be starting the process of converting over to Command for our compliance. I have Command Converger written on my notes, but it's Command Compliance, which, guys, by the way, I have personally been taking classes on Command. And it's been eye-opening. I feel bad for my staff because now I'm all excited because it's so easy. I drive them crazy now talking about it. You're actually going to see me learning it well enough to train it. And I'm so excited. I've been seeing a lot of Ryan Neihart. I saw him on there posting about Facebook ads. I've seen Zach do the same thing. I've seen people talk about. So when you start having some of these successes on there, post these on the group page so people can see them. It's just a lot. There's a lot of tools in there that we're not utilizing as a company. And so one of our missions is to get to Command Compliance. And I'll go ahead and say, I know this was your part, but it's easy, is Command Compliance is going to start rolling out on August 1st. Is that right, Lisa?
That's correct. Yeah. We're going to roll it out. We're going to give notice to dotloop on August 1st and give them our 90-day notice. So it will be completely out of dotloop by November 1st, October 31st, actually. We're going to ask you to start utilizing it for compliance starting in August. We'll give you a rollout schedule once we have more information, but be prepared. Have the basics of Command down before August. Throughout the month of August, we'll be teaching classes probably every Tuesday and Thursday just to make sure that you are up to speed on that. You're going to be thrilled with the compliance portion of that. It's much harder on the broker side, but on the agent side, it's going to facilitate you like you will not believe. So I think something to look forward to.
And a lot of the new functionality when it comes to opportunities in there, of cultivating a lead. Guys, we're going to show you how to track all your numbers. A lot of you guys are using it. Probably nobody's using it to the extent it can be. And to continually to have new things that are evolving out of there. So, all right. So a lot of you guys have heard that we have our new mortgage company, IntroLend, that is on board. It's actually our mortgage company. The cool thing about IntroLend, it allows you to use any mortgage company that has agreed to be a part of our platform. Largest one so far is Fairway Mortgage is on our platform and a few others. We're going to begin the rollout of IntroLend, which is a really cool model. It's all app-based model. You basically get on an app and you use it through your app. It's an app-based model. You go in there and fast track them. It pulls credit, does it one place. You can even do credit mortgage calculators on there, all kinds of things. And so we're going to start rolling that out on July 14th. So stay tuned. We're going to do it in phases on different levels of productive ages, how long you've been in business. And so if we don't get you on the first phase, you're going to see that slowly being waved in there. Team meeting this Wednesday, tomorrow. I have a special guest tomorrow named Dave Norberg. Dave Norberg may be one of the best listing agents I've ever met in my entire life. Dave Norberg went from being homeless, sleeping into his car, to making $1 million a year profit in real estate. He spent most of his real estate career in San Diego, and I was very honored. I coached him for a few years to help him build a passive income stream so he could retire. I was very excited the other day. He texted me and he did it. A few years after I coached him, and I worked with him on profit share and other things to help him just stay accountable. And so Dave made it. He sold his house in San Diego, retired to Reno, Nevada, and he may be. So I'm going to do on Wednesday is I'm going to have him as a special guest, and we're going to interview him. And I'm also going to show you a video of a role play he did one time that will pretty much blow your mind on how to make calls on doing it. So that's tomorrow's team meeting. It starts at 9 a.m. Please be there a little bit early. We are going to be doing some plug-in listings. We're coming up with new methods. I'm doing that on our team meeting tomorrow. And then, of course, we also have Bold Pivot, the August version, to help us stay accountable to what we're doing. So those of you guys that I'll be giving some more incentives for one on Bold Pivot. It starts on August 4th, and I'll send the link out. So, well, without further ado, I think right now that's about it. Is there anything else, Lisa, that we need to mention in our meeting today?
How about Ignite? Do you want to talk about Ignite?
Yeah, Ignite. If I had Dan on here, we'll probably talk about Ignite launching in August as well. I know they're meeting on that today on the schedule. So we'll have more information on Ignite, which is a great place to invite people. Ignite will be on Zoom, and will be launching in August as well. So we have a lot coming up, a lot of opportunities, and you'll continue to see we're going to be very listing focused. We're going to be launching a listing contest, just a lot of things going on. So this went live on Facebook. I see a lot of people are on here watching it, which we really love. We'll probably do an announcement next time saying live coming up on Facebook. We're also recording it on Zoom, and we're going to be posting this on the web page as well, 1kwsa.com, so that you can go back and watch it again. So some of y'all, I noticed, I was looking at my notes. I'm curious on who was on here and watching it. So I know we got about 16 watching it live right now. Even more probably go back and watch it. And so this was my first go at Zoom live on Facebook. So looks like I succeeded. And Lisa and I are going to do these. We're going to have Jay, probably the three of us, and then maybe even Dan do one. So guys, we appreciate you. And if you need us, let us know. We're going to be getting pretty intense on some productivity. We had a record month last month.
Yeah.
We'll be getting those numbers together. Literally, we had a record month. And so the business is there, the production's there. You just got to go make an impact and go find the business. The people that are in action are getting the business. So, Lisa, thanks for being on here. I appreciate it, and we'll keep doing some announcements. See you guys.
Bye.